All right, what's up, boys? So today we have another person, and just quickly introduce yourself and just talk about how you got into trading in general.
Well, my name is Alex, and I got into trading around last year, September. I got into Bitcoin first, and I was trading futures on it. And around December, it kind of all fell down and stopped working for me. And in January, this is when I found Vito because of a friend that told me about it, who's a great guy. And from there, it kind of went all well, I guess. And that was the turning point. Honestly, I'm blessed to find this, and yeah, that's about it.
That's funny, dude. I haven't heard a lot of people who've just started on Bitcoin. Normally it's the other way around, but that's actually really interesting. The Bitcoin hype really got you. That's really cool. So, what did your life look like before, like, the Discord, before trading? Just like, were you just a normal kid? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, just a normal kid, okay grades, just play games, work out, school. Nothing special, nothing that would stand out
Yeah,
for someone.
absolutely. I was kind of like that too, to be honest, before trading. How old are you right now?
18.
18. Yeah, I started when I was 17, so I was just like you. You're in high school, going to college, correct?
I'm ending college, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I was like just around that age. I was kind of normal like you, so that's really funny. We kind of started off in the same direction. So, yeah, so what got you interested in futures trading specifically with like SPX and Nasdaq? Cuz you actually said you did futures on Bitcoin. So, what
Yeah.
kind of made you change over to S&P, Nasdaq, US 30? Was it like just
So
yourself or just like following me almost?
it was it was I'd say half and half. It was half because I saw you do it and I saw that it works out for many people.
Mhm.
And then also, in my opinion, I just thought that crypto was not as true. Like it wasn't as regulated. It was manipulated, of course, but it was manipulated more than stocks. And so I thought that maybe stocks would be a better chance for me. And well, so far, thank God it has.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what was it like for you on Bitcoin futures? I'm just curious. Like how did that go? Was it like good and then it just all fell apart, or was it like just consistently bad? Like what was that like? Just curious.
So it started off bad. I looked at some videos of me trading back then and I don't know what I was doing. And then it got better. Like it went uphill and I started, oh my God, I can actually do this. And then, of course, it crumbles down, and that's when I had to find something else like this, for example. And well, yeah, this is what I found. But yeah, it was up and then down.
Got you, got you. That's crazy. So going off that, what was like some of your biggest challenges, like before trading my strategy, and maybe like in the beginning of trading my strategy overall? Like what was like your biggest challenges with that?
What do you mean?
So like you talked about on Bitcoin, like how you're trading. So what was like your biggest challenges with that? And then obviously like when you started trading my strategy, I assume you weren't just the goat off rip. So what was like your biggest challenges kind of turning over and just like I don't know, what was your biggest challenges just in the beginning of your trading journey in general?
Before the trade, it seems all perfect. Oh my God, I have a good idea. This is probably gonna work out. And then once I press the button, it just goes downwards from there. I can't stay in the trade for longer than like I don't know. In Bitcoin especially, it was like a few minutes and I was just so scared of it. And that's actually one of the things I got better with you because I just see the insane numbers go up and down and you're just sitting there like, no, it's whatever. And that just kind of made me realize like what am I doing? And yeah, that was the biggest challenge, I think.
So the psychological part for you.
Yeah.
Interesting. So was it also the strategy along with the psychological part? Because from what I'm kind of seeing here is that just Bitcoin trading as a whole didn't really work out. So you obviously touched on psychology, but was it also the Bitcoin strategy, or was it just mostly psychology?
I think the strategy was also a pretty big part of it because I wasn't confident in it, like I guess. Like
Got you.
I of course it might work out for some, but I was just not confident in it. And with your strategy, I mean, it's just that's what I'm fascinated by. Like honestly, like actually, like I just see how quick it is and how easy it is, and that's what made me actually join most. mostly, yeah.
So it was a little bit of both. Like the strategy wasn't really good on Bitcoin, clearly,
Yeah, yeah.
and then the psychological part. But yeah, no, that's definitely the main two things that a lot of traders struggle with in the beginning. And so just before joining me, um, what other strategies were you doing? Obviously the Bitcoin, and then did you have like any other mentors? So like, what was like your full kind of game plan? Did you just start off on Bitcoin and that was like your only previous thing, or did you have multiple strategies, multiple mentors? What was that like? Just curious.
So at the start, I didn't watch anything. I didn't listen to anyone. I kind of just went in and tried doing something. That's what I'm completely surprised about right now. Now that I look back, I look at the graph, I'm like, what even was the thinking behind that? But then I started looking at YouTube a lot. I watched this guy called Trading Geek,
Oh,
who turns out to be a scammer. And then that kind of hurt me a little bit, but I really enjoyed it. And I learned about liquidity sweeps. And actually, I didn't really have a mentor. Maybe that was a problem. That's why it never worked out anything for me. But the strategy was liquidity sweeps. Like that's what I was mostly doing.
on
And I
Bitcoin?
guess I just didn't really, sorry?
On Bitcoin, that was your strategy?
Yeah, on Bitcoin.
Oh,
When it just went below a lower high, I was like, yeah, it might reverse. And that's I guess what I did until
okay.
I actually got into this more serious. And yeah, but that was that.
Wow, so you were a pretty clean slate. You didn't really have any other mentors, any other strategies. You
No,
were
no
like
other
almost
stra
brand
no
new.
other strategies though. I tried to watch as much as I can on YouTube, like everything,
Mhm.
all averages. What's the like any indicator that you can think of, I learned about it, like
Oh my
everything.
gosh.
I
The
even went into like
indicators.
macroeconomics to see what moves the markets. It's crazy, but whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah, so you're pretty fresh into the mentorship part of things, but you were just doing whatever, like whatever strategy wise.
yeah.
That's hilarious. I love it. I love it. So yeah, so this is a two-part question. Do you think my strategy is way simpler than the rest? And at what point did you realize you were overcomplicating trading?
Do I think it's this like this much simpler? That of course, and I love the levels.
Mm.
And what was the question one? The question
So
two,
like
sorry.
at what point did you realize, oh, this simpler strategy is like way better almost because it's simpler? Because like you said, you were looking at so many strategies, all these indicators, but that over analysis kind of can mess you up. So at what point did you really realize that the simpler strategy actually worked better?
I think not before I joined, but the day I joined, because the day I joined, I made 2% on my first ever account, and I kind of just realized that this was real, and it wasn't just someone saying some random stuff. It was actually working, and then it was the first week, second week, third week, and that's just when I realized that it actually does work.
Wow. So I'm just curious, how much did you make in your first month with me?
First month, that was February, like I think it was like 21 and a half.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. That's sick. That's wild. Wow, dude, that's awesome, bro. I'm really happy
I
for you.
went all in with the 200K, yeah.
That's
But it,
awesome.
it works out. It worked
Yeah,
out.
that's crazy. So, we just talked about like your first month, but what made you actually join? Like, what made you actually be like, oh, I'm gonna try out this strategy. I'm gonna try out Vito's mentorship. Like, what was that like? What made you join?
So two things. One was the crypto, the failure, of course. That was
Yeah.
one of the drives that I should try again with something different. And two, a friend, this guy and that just sits next to me in class was like, "Hey, check this out." And he's also Italian. And he showed it. He was like, "This guy's insane." I'm like, "Wow, wait, no way. This actually works." And then I looked further into it and I was like, "Well, I don't see a reason for it not to work if it's live streamed." So I just ended up joining, and it was a good price too. So I mean, it's a great price, and whatever you pay now, it's bro, the money is just, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Your classmate. That's awesome. But yeah, like the live stream parts, you really like that part?
yeah,
Yeah, that's a big thing. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, are these people real?" And basically, what I tell them is, if they live stream, they can't hide anything, so that's how you
yeah.
know. But all the people who don't live stream, you got no idea what's going on, really.
And just real quick, I now that I actually learned more, I've started to trade on, I think, well, usually it's Tuesdays and Thursdays I trade by myself
Mm,
without copying you.
yeah.
And so I'm actually trying to learn more and more. I'm staying in the community with everyone, of course, but it's just I'm trying to do it myself too, because otherwise it's just like you know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
You
no,
got to learn and
absolutely.
yeah, and so like watching you on stream actually explain everything helps a lot, and then I do it myself sometimes as well.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
actually
that's
really like that. I like because a lot of people, I feel like they see my success, but then they kind of depend on it too much. And I really like how you do like a couple days on, a couple days off. That's really nice, and that's actually really beneficial, like to becoming independent long term. So that's awesome. So how did your results change once you simplified your approach, like my strategy? And yeah, so like how did your results change from previously to after you started using my strategy?
well, infinitely better. I
Yeah.
mean, I went to being like not make losing to
Mm.
absolutely winning. I mean, that's that's it really.
Yeah, pretty
But
self-explanatory
it
to
became
be honest. So, you talked about your first month in the Discord. Can you just expand on that a little bit? Like, what was like your first impression? Because I would assume that's like your little turning moment. You're like, oh my gosh, like this is all real. So, can you just talk about that turning moment where you actually saw the wins and you're like, this might actually like work? So, what was that like?
so the moment I saw the wins, I was of course I was like, what? Wow, like that's that's insane. But then also you had the other you had still do like the channels below that, the ones that explain there's even a podcast. I on like the first few days, I went through all of that. I listened to all of it. And besides the wins, that there, like your the way you went through all of this, like through those videos from you like years ago predicting different stuff on the stock market, like how like if I just listened to you now after you went through all of that, like that's even more insane than just the wins alone. And that's like honest. So that's when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is not just real. This is going to improve pretty much everything. And yeah, so I went through that. That was my first few weeks, I guess,
Wow.
maybe full month. But yeah, that's how.
That's crazy. I don't get a lot of people saying that because a lot of people are new gens almost. They didn't know like they didn't realize the amount of work that got put in like those years before. And you realizing that is crazy. And I actually love that. Uh, yeah, man, you saw the improvement real time. So, that's amazing,
I
honestly.
did, yeah.
So yeah. So although like you learned the trading strategy and everything, can you talk about how your psychology improved? Because you said that was one of your major flaws like beforehand. So how did
Yeah.
the Discord just help your psychology and everything?
So I think again, two ways. One is you, of course, seeing how you handled the situation, how you basically took it not as a joke, but you know, with a little twist to it, like
Yeah.
seeing the numbers go, yeah. And I just saw this it's in a way not that deep, I guess.
Mm.
But that kind of made me think about it and just realize that this is not a game, but it shouldn't be taken like if I lose, that's it. That's end of my like yeah.
Yeah.
That's what made me realize like at the end of the day it's gonna be fine. It's gonna work out. And another thing is the community. I had a talk. I know pretty much everyone in the server, hopefully, and I've talked to most people and they've helped me out a lot. I've tried to help them when I could, and yeah, that these two things really helped me out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely huge. Like a lot of people get so freaked out, but like what's the point of really doing this if you're not having fun and enjoying it, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, I actually
Actually, speaking of fun, since I'm in Europe. It actually the stock market opens at 3:30 and school closes at 3:15 for me. Well, college. But the thing is, I have to run home. So college ends, I need to run back home, and that's about a 3-4 kilometer run. So I have to take a tram stop away and then run. And so every day I come home like, okay, let's try. And that that was before. Now, of course, now I have the time for it. I've now that it's became a reality, I put time away for it, and now it's all good. But before I had to do that.
dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh my gosh.
Gotta
Imagine
do
having
what
to
you gotta
sprint
do.
home. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That dude, I love that though. That's hilarious.
That was like the first month, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah. So how do you handle like your overall risk and confidence and how that's changed from before the Discord and after Discord? Because I'm sure, um, hopefully you have learned some risk management stuff, and hopefully a change in confidence has occurred. So just talk about that a little bit.
So what do you mean? How my risk management changed?
Yeah, like
Or
so I don't know. I mean, maybe you were just the best risk manager of all time beforehand. So let me know about that. And just overall, like how did your confidence change in trading as a whole? Because you said there was like ups and downs in Bitcoin, and I'm sure that kind of created a little bit of doubt. So how did that kind of change after finding like futures trading, my strategy, and all that? So yeah.
so the confidence part, of course, rose after actually understanding how this works and the main just after watching what you do. That's how I understood most of it. But the that was and the risk management was from you, but the confidence I think it's all from you. I think it's all just from watching how you did it. There's not that much to talk about. It's just I just watched you and I saw how you were with it and that's I just took notes and tips from that.
Makes sense, honestly. Good answer, I guess. So, with this strategy, I'm sure you know it's very fast. So, do you find yourself trading less but earning more from the strategy?
Definitely. I mean, my biggest win, which was like 5,000. Actually, no, it was more like it was two trades, so it was around eight, but the biggest one, you know what I mean, right? So it was eight, but the biggest one was five, and that was around 24 seconds.
Dude, I remember that day exactly too. I remember that.
That was insane to me.
That's
That's like wow. And of course, that's the beauty of it, in my opinion. The speed is great. Like that, I love that. There's not even much to like think about. Like when you're in a long trade, you have time to think about. You're like, oh my God, why did I enter? When you just enter and you just exit immediately, like there's not much time to even think about it. That's wonderful. I like it.
yeah, no, that's a great point actually because a lot of people when they like are doing these longer trades, they'll look at it and they'll start like second guessing themselves. So that's a great point you actually brought up. And that's not something I really think about often. But yeah, that's crazy. So like you said, 24 seconds. How do you how do you like that? Because I'm sure that's a lot more freedom within your day, right? So talk about the little freedom aspect because I don't know why you're trading, but I would assume it's for some type of freedom. So just talk about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, college does take away most of my freedom,
Oh
but
yeah.
right after, I mean, the fact that it takes so little is just great because I run home. That's of course saving time by running. Then the market's like, I don't know, 15, 30 minutes, sometimes low beans.
Oh yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
bit it's a bit longer sometimes, but then dude, if I go to sleep at like 10 or 11, I still got hours to do whatever whatever I want.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's the
that's
beauty
great.
of it.
Free time's great.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Awesome. So now that we've already talked about that, so tell me a little bit more about what your trading day looks like. Because I'm very curious now with the running home. So after you run home, just go through like what the trading day is like. Obviously, it's gonna be kind of short because we don't trade for very often. But yeah, just go over that really quick because we only
Well,
trade for
trading
like
day.
5 minutes.
Well, when I wake up, I just check. I check the long terms
Oh
in the
yeah.
morning.
Mhm.
I look at nine. I look at for me it's 9:30. I look at London Open
Mhm.
just in class. Just my laptop's there, you know.
Yeah.
And then for New York, for when I'm trading your strategy with you, um, I usually have my laptop on for the last like 10 minutes before class ends, just to put out the levels and just to look at what it looks like at least.
Yeah.
Um, and then I run home. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes there's an event, or maybe I have a after school class as well. I have to sit in the bathroom and hopefully we're hopefully it works. You know,
Wow. That that's crazy. I love that though. I love the dedication to be honest. That's
I know a
awesome.
guy passed actually. One of the people from the server actually passed on in the toilet,
Yeah, I
which is
remember that.
great.
Yeah, so for all you viewers who don't know, we had a person pass his account while in the bathroom at school.
That was great.
So that was hilarious. But yeah, no, that's funny. I love hearing these stories of like what what people have to go through to just to trade. It's hilarious. So yeah, at this point, what is your win rate like? And yeah, just what's your win rate like?
So with you, it's the same. Well, at the complete start, it was a bit off because I was taking out too early. Like this was like a 3 week thing
Yeah.
where I had my mentality still trying to get it working. Well, but now for yours it's the same, but for me it's in the mid 60s because I trade by myself
Yep.
sometimes, and of
That's
course
still
I'm not
really
as
good.
good yet, but I'm trying my best. And yeah, it's big R though. It's 1.5,
Yeah.
so
Dude, that's still amazing. That's great.
mid 60s,
And
yeah.
you talked about your long terms. Is that something you learned from me, or have you gained anything from me, hopefully? Or is that something you just done on your own?
Well, I heard you talk about it, and I was like, maybe this could be a good thing. So I actually entered a little bit before you,
Really?
but I entered
Okay.
because of you. So that's the thing. I entered, I think, one day before you, but
Oh,
I got the thing is, I entered a day or two before you, but I got the exact same fill, which was yeah, whatever. But obviously because you saw the opportunity, and I was like, and I looked at you and I saw that you saw the opportunity. I was like, genius. And so I got into it.
I love
And
it. You
yeah,
took
I'm
you
up
took
like, I
action
don't
before
know.
me. I love it, dude.
I'm like up 12, 13% right now. But I got the European ones, so they're perfect, but it's gonna
Yeah,
be off a little.
that's awesome, bro. I love that. Awesome. So yeah, did you ever think trading could be this simple? Because I know you talked about watching all these videos. So what was it like to just find a strategy that's so simple? Like, what was that feeling?
I kind of didn't believe it before, especially when the guy that I was talking about when he just said this guy makes thousands or tens of thousands in 30 seconds. I'm like, nah, I mean, come on, there's gotta be like a twist to it, right? Um, so I kind of didn't believe it. And before, when I was looking at those videos, I thought that you needed some like quant machine or whatever, like a big
Yeah,
computer
yeah.
to actually know what to do. I didn't know it was just gonna be levels up or down. And I was shocked by it. But then I realized that wow, maybe I actually trusted, and it was a good thing that I trusted
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, no, I hear that a lot because even myself, like when I was looking at this and like making the strategy myself, I thought that there had to be more. I'm like, dude, there's no way this is it. And I thought I was like undermining it, but I was just like, okay, let me just try it for now. And then obviously, like if I start losing, I'll start adding stuff. But then I tried it and it was just working great and I never switched it. So yeah, it was, believe me, it was just as much of a shock to me as it was to you. So that's absolutely hilarious. So would you say that the quickness is your favorite part about this strategy?
Yeah, with the simplicity, yeah. Also, I just want to point out, it's just so unbelievable that I'm sitting here right now, talking about this, and like, I don't know, what, January, I didn't even know this was possible. I just wanted to, yeah, sorry, but
No,
you know
no,
what I
that's
mean.
great. And that actually goes into our next question. How has the results from like the strategy changed your life in general? Because you just literally said that perfectly in time.
Well,
So yeah.
I mean, well, I got my PC. I I don't know if I can. I got my PC. That's what I did.
Nice.
That's how it changed. I can buy like before I couldn't really buy like I could buy food, of course. Thank God I could. But now I kind of just go in and I don't really care. Like, some friends are like, oh, I'm like my budget. And then now it's just right. I love that. I can just go to the store whenever I want and buy anything I want. Well, not anything, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Yeah, like the little things you don't even have to look at the price tag anymore, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly
that's
how it is.
absolutely the
And
best
of
part.
course, fancy stuff. I got myself a new phone, I got myself a computer, and yeah.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, no, treat yourself, bro. You earned it. So yeah. Um, do you think that working with me and all of that saved you like years of trial and error and just years of like the wrong path almost?
I think I think maybe if I didn't see you, I don't think any would, no matter how long it would take, it wouldn't be possible simply because I didn't really believe in it. You
Interesting.
know,
Okay.
I just didn't think it was possible. I kind of lost. I know those don't give up. It's gonna work. I know that. But I just didn't, it just didn't seem real because I didn't see anyone actually do it. And then so I don't this changed me so much that I mean without it I wouldn't have done anything. I probably would just given up and just said, nah, whatever.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So yeah, all right. Final question here. Would you recommend this to someone else who's trying to like make money and be a profitable trader?
Of course. Of course. anyone who's actually trying, of course I would. I suggested it to multiple friends, and the guy who actually told me about this, I tried to get him to join afterwards, and he never ended up joining, but I'm really thankful for him for making me join. But yeah, I recommend it to anyone, like actually.
Awesome.
And when people don't join, they usually actually learn from the free stuff.
Hmm.
The guy who actually told me about it learned it from the free stuff. He's still making bank. He's making more than me. I told him to join because he kind of saw you and he kind of, but he was whatever. Point is, of course, it's worth joining. I mean, duh.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, no, dude, it was great talking to you. And
Yeah,
like you
like
said, you made 21 the first month. So you're averaging around like
21.
20, 25 a month, correct?
Yeah,
Dude,
that was
that's
just the first one. So yeah, now it's a bit higher, especially with the long
dude,
term.
that's insane. 18 years old. Wow. Dude, that's I'm so happy for you, honestly. But yeah. No, dude,
Um,
thank you. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much for doing this, honestly. I really
Well, thank
appreciate
you,
it.
dude. Thank you. You've
Yeah.
you've changed it all.
I got you, bro. Yeah, I love hearing your stories and
See that thing?
yeah.
That's from you, bro. I don't even use it now.
You should put you should engrave my name on it.
Yeah, the veto.
There we go. But yeah, dude, honestly, it was awesome talking to you. I loved hearing your story and yeah, dude, this is
Thank
amazing.
you.
But yeah, yeah, that's gonna be all, guys. I really appreciate you all for watching. This is the story of Alex, and there you go. Have a good one, everyone.